Welcome to How to Survive with Danielle and Christine. We're here to help you get through the catastrophes that could kill you.
Avalanches, bear attacks, knife fights.
And the stuff that really keeps you up at night.
Texting mishaps.
Sexting mishaps.
Being catfished.
I'm really worried about getting osteoporosis.
Me too.
My bones are like chalk.
I'm getting you a glass of milk right now.
Should we just play the song?
Yeah, okay.
Ground is shaking under our feet. Mountains on fire, flooding in the street. Can't breathe the air, can't fight the feeling. Gobbling down Xanax ain't the way to be dealing. Gotta do better than just getting high. We gotta stick together if we're gonna survive. Ooh, how to survive. Ooh, how to survive.
Well, welcome to How to Survive with Danielle and Christine. How are you, Chris?
You know what? I'm the best I've ever been.
That's pretty good.
Yeah. You know, things are really working out
as
for
you
me.
know, today we're going to be discussing how to survive being robbed at gunpoint, which I was.
I can't wait. You're gonna tell the story, right?
Well, I'm going to tell the story, and I'm going to, I guess, also tell you everything I did wrong.
Wow. Let's learn from your mistakes.
So should I tell the story first?
I want to hear it now. I mean,
Okay.
Don't make us wait. Otherwise, we're all going to be sitting.
I didn't die. Spoiler alert. I'm fine.
We're not talking to a ghost right
No.
now. Although you are you're so thin, I can almost see through you.
Wraith-like. So I had been dating my husband, now husband. And so I had spent the night at his house. Ooh, naughty.
Wait.
And
Living in sin.
living in sin. And the night before we had we did a stand-up gig, and I actually got paid, which was not something that happened very often.
Yeah, this never happened
So
to me. So you're in your 20s.
Yeah.
You're living in Hollywood, living the life.
Yeah. Miracle Mile-ish. And so anyway, I come home. I guess I came home at night. So yeah, the night before I spent the night, and then we spent the day together, and I came home at night. And my apartment building didn't have parking.
And your apartment building, just to set it up, is in the Miracle Mile.
Miracle Mile, yeah.
Okay, so for the
Wilshire
listeners,
area.
that is Hollywood, West
It's like
Hollywood
south of-
adjacent.
Well, it's south of Hollywood, and it's like between downtown and the beach, basically.
yeah, it's cool.
So there was no parking in my building.
It's by the E building.
There you go. There you go.
Now everyone knows.
Chris and I have worked together.
Yes.
So I always had to look for parking, and it was just a constant like, ugh, you got home, you have to look for parking, you have to deal with the parking.
The signs.
Yes.
Do you want to talk about the signs for a minute in LA?
the signs? Is it unique to LA how crazy our signs are?
Yeah.
No parking
I
between
mean-
2 and 6 on a weekend, unless that weekend is on
Labor Day.
a holiday or a month that ends in
Do not park
H or-
between 2 and 4 on Thursday,
Right.
except for the 15 minutes after.
Right.
When I moved here, I think I got from Ohio, I got a ticket every week for like the first year because I couldn't figure it out.
My car got towed 2 days in a row.
Oh, God.
2 days in a row, my car got towed because I parked in the wrong place.
And getting towed here,
Oh, it's a freaking hassle.
it's a big deal because they take your car really far away into some other like nether
Narnia.
world.
Yeah.
And it costs like $400 and you don't have the money.
And you only make these mistakes when you're young and stupid and,
And
broke.
super broke, which is also not always when you're really young, if you're me.
Okay, right.
Well
I mean,
into
I'm
your
not saying,
30s.
Yeah, right. Right.
And it's always, to me, it was always when it was like also a really terrible time in my life. I remember once a therapist had to take me.
No.
Yeah.
Was it at least your therapist?
Yes.
Or did you just randomly?
Some person that I was like, hey, therapist. Yeah, always the worst time in your life when your car's getting towed.
That's amazing. Your therapist had to take you to get your... Why? Was it towed from the therapist's office?
And it was also like, I was broke. I was living on someone's couch. And that was the therapist who told me he had a crush on me.
What?
Yeah, this is...
Chris! Okay, this is another episode. Yeah. But wait, can I just... I really do want to know about that, but right now I am...
No, let's get back to your story.
No, because now I'm picturing you leaving the therapist's office, discovering your car has been towed. Then you have to get back into the therapist's office, which means you have to buzz the thing and turn on the light in the... Did all that happen?
It was all that, yes.
Right?
Yes.
Because how else would you get back to the therapist?
Yeah.
Okay. So I didn't have parking. And so I would always have to... There was a lot across the street south of Wilshire. And I lived in an area where people were constantly asking me for directions.
Okay.
It was just like, this was before, GPS and internet and
This
all
was
that
Thomas
stuff.
Guide days.
Right. So it was very common. So I'm trying to remember what happened. I believe that I saw the car and something told me you should probably go move this. You should not park here. You should go somewhere else. But a space is a space.
Yeah.
And I found a space.
Okay.
So I parked and then I got out and I think he parked his car in the middle of the street facing me. And I think he asked me for directions or something like that. Or I thought he was going to ask me for directions or something. And then he pulled out a gun and he robbed me. And
wait, slow down.
Sorry, am I not? Okay.
Slow down. Okay, so.
I was walking back to my apartment from where I had parked.
And he's walking towards you.
He walked toward me.
And the first thing he does is pull out a gun.
He pulled out a gun.
And then he says,
I think he said, give me your money.
Did he say like any bad words to you or just give me your money?
I think he may have said fudge.
Give me your money,
And
fudge.
gosh darn.
Gosh darn, give me your money, fudge.
Yeah.
Oh, that is scary.
And then I wanted fudge. So that was a problem.
As soon as you get robbed, you immediately want fudge.
So I had been paid in cash. So I was like, motherfucker, of course. Now the money I got from stand-up is...
Do you remember how much it was?
It was probably like $150 or
That's
something,
a lot.
which is a lot of money at
That's
that time
a lot
for me.
At any time to get paid in stand-up.
I had to give it to him. I mean, I just gave it to him. I think I even hesitated for a second because I was kind of like,
it's a lot of money.
I gave it to him and and then I also we had gone to a garage sale because that was something we did, like a yard sale. And I had bought like a wine case, like a wine case that was like a little crate.
Okay.
A wine crate that had like the Marx Brothers painted on it or something. I don't know.
This is so strange.
So I handed that to him too.
Wait, you had it in your hand?
Well, yeah, because I had spent the night at Jimmy's. We had gone to, in the morning we had gone.
Oh, so it's like a box?
It was like a little case I think that you could use as like a little.
Carafe? I'm trying to picture
No,
this.
it's like a little wood crate. Like a wood crate.
And this man also wanted the Marx Brothers
I just
wine
handed
crate?
over it to him.
Okay.
I don't even know if it was the Marx Brothers, but that's what.
He didn't want your purse.
No, I gave him everything.
Oh, so
he
it was
wanted
just like
everything.
you just were like, here, take it all.
I think that's what happened.
But you still had your keys.
I had my keys.
Okay.
I'm trying to remember if I had. I must have. Obviously, I had my keys. So because I had just parked.
Okay.
So I probably had them
Good.
in my hand.
He didn't want to steal your car.
No.
Okay. He just
No one wanted to. It was like a Tercel. So, so I walked and I was calm. I was calm during the whole thing. I was kind of like, fuck.
Yeah.
Like, God damn it. But I was calm.
You weren't like, this guy's going to shoot me.
No.
Okay.
I didn't really think he was going to shoot me. I didn't know if it was a real gun.
Okay.
And it wasn't until I walked away that I was like, okay, that was kind of scary.
Yeah.
And I think I started shaking after he left.
Right.
And then I went up to my apartment and I called Jimmy and I said, well, first I called the police. I think I first called the police. And I called Jimmy and I said, I was just robbed, I think is the way I phrased it. And then when he came over later, he was like, oh, what did they take? What did they take? And I'm like,
He was like, did they take that Marx Brothers thing?
he thought my apartment was robbed. And I
Okay.
said, no, I was held up at gunpoint. And he
Yeah.
was like, oh. And I'm like, oh, that's
Yeah.
worse. That's like
Yeah.
1,000 times worse. We still argue about how that conversation took place because he claims that that's not what his reaction was.
He
Like,
claims
no.
he was more alarmed and concerned.
Yeah. And then the police came when they were like, can you describe him? And I was like, I'm not a very observant person. And then they were like, could you also describe the gun? And I'm like, are you kidding me? It was a black gun.
Yeah.
And they're like, well, was it this caliber? I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? I have no idea.
You're like, I am neither Cagney
nor Lacey. Although I am, can wear the hell out of a pantsuit.
Yeah,
but
I've seen it, and you can. I agree.
But yeah, so anyway, I was more agitated at the cops because they were so unhelpful, and it was just
Like another day to them.
yeah. And I get that it is just another day to them, but it was extremely. And then having to deal with like this is the time of checkbooks, so like canceling your checks, and I don't know why I walked around with my checks, but that's what you did back then, or at least that's
You
what
probably still balanced your checkbook back then to the penny.
Well, I didn't. But I should have. Yes. No, there were often times where I went to the ATM and I was like, what?
89 cents.
There's nothing left?
It's in the minus.
I was always working, but I just
Yeah.
didn't like, I just didn't have a good head on my shoulders about that kind of stuff. So, yeah. So then I had to go to court and testify. And I mean,
Oh, did they catch him?
they caught someone who he had like given a check to or something.
Oh,
like that.
wow.
So there
he
was some
actually
sort of
like tried to pass off some of your checks.
I think so.
He was impersonating you as well.
Right, which wasn't.
He wore a long,
I was sort of mannish.
flowing, gorgeous wig.
Right.
And he also could wear the hell out of a pantsuit, it turns out.
He could. So, I'm going to tell you about how to avoid the situation I was in.
Okay.
Because
I
don't
don't
want anyone else getting mugged. I didn't want to say mugged to Jimmy because I didn't want to make it sound too dramatic, but then it turned out I was mad that he didn't see how dramatic it was. Anyway.
That is true. I think anyone pointing a gun at you is very
Right.
dramatic.
Okay, I agree. So these are some of the, like, with your brother when he comes home for Christmas. Okay, so these are some of the characteristics that a would-be mugger looks for before they strike.
Okay.
Weird walkers.
So don't walk weird.
Okay, when picking a potential victim, muggers will first look at the way a person walks.
Okay.
I was told I walked like George Jefferson in high school, but apparently that wasn't weird enough to...
Wait, didn't he kind of like move his...
Because he swung his arms behind
a
his
lot,
back.
like this? Yeah.
Like, really
Everyone
wide.
was swinging our arms back.
And I
wide.
guess I had a sort of George Jefferson gait.
Moving on up.
I don't know
Am I
why.
allowed to do that? Or do we have the rights for me to sing it?
Yes,
Okay.
that much.
We'll check. Garen's going to pay for the rights.
He doesn't have enough to do. So much like the way predators scope their target from a herd of prey animals, muggers look for anyone who walks in an unusual way, one that denotes weakness.
Weakness. Okay, so do the whole like superwoman pose.
Yes.
Stand, like before you
Right.
leave your house, stand tall.
Right.
And then walk with confidence.
Right.
Okay.
Like don't slouch, drag your feet, don't cast your eyes down.
Okay.
Now, if you happen to slouch or drag your feet because that's your posture or the way you are, I guess you're just screwed.
You're
but
going to
anyway,
get mugged.
Yeah.
So basically have a lot of confidence.
Yeah. Well, the way they phrase it is try to be as normal as possible. Which
That's a little insulting.
it says walk confidently but not arrogantly.
Okay.
Avoiding any unusual movements like shuffling, nervous, or jerky movements, skipping. You know how one skips from their car to their
I
house?
skip through my damn life.
I know.
You know me. Miss Optimism.
Walk and act naturally. These not only project confidence, but allow you to blend anonymously among pedestrian traffic. Obviously, they also suggest you stay with other people and don't be alone. That's not
Okay.
always possible, as I found out. Muggers will always look for old people, so don't be old.
Oh, okay. Good point. I mean, don't be old in general, though, right?
Don't be old in general. This
Because-
goes back to our thing about calcium.
Yes.
We really have to uptake our calcium.
Yes.
They also look for college students.
Huh.
Muggers know that some students carry a decent amount of cash, although I don't know if any more.
Yeah, I don't.
And they also carry electronics that are worth, selling off.
College students love iPads.
Yeah. Some muggers aren't above taking a student's fancy shoes, smartphone, and laptop.
This sounds also, though, like Reader's Digest written by, like, Hume Crone.
I know.
Fancy shoes.
Fancy shoes.
But it's also, I would say, accurate.
I guess.
I mean-
it also makes it harder to run after them. I mean, it makes
Yeah. They're in there.
not that I
They're
would
in
run
there
after-
really. They're collectible Nikes.
Oh,
You know,
fancy shoes.
the
I was
ones-
picturing like polished loafers with tassels.
Yeah,
but
you're-
obviously fancy shoes
You're thinking of Stanford, like people at
Yes.
Stanford in
in the 80s.
but I'm thinking of like those lines around those
Yes.
collectible like shoe stores that I don't know the names of
Right.
on La Brea.
Yeah.
Where there are lines
new
around the
Jordans
block
are in
to
or
get
whatever.
the fancy
Right.
sneakers.
Sneakers. Yeah. No, that makes sense. Don't be the same size as your mugger.
Okay.
I guess would help. Don't be the
So
same shoe
I
size.
should probably also be looking out for the mugger and make sure my feet aren't the same size.
That's right.
Okay.
I would have to have a very tiny mugger.
You would.
I wear a
the
6.
Cutest. You can wear any shoe, and they look great.
Now get this.
Okay, I'm ready.
Men are more likely to be mugged than women.
Men are more likely to be mugged than women?
Yes.
Huh. That actually does surprise me.
Muggers favor picking men as their targets as they're less likely to scream or yell for help. Women are likely to yell for help, run, or generally cause a scene.
Babies. What a bunch of wimps.
Making a scene.
Stop making a scene about being victimized. Victim.
Male victims often stay quiet and submit. Some may even be too proud to admit to being mugged.
Interesting.
And the
Well, it
crime
also
might go
seems
unreported.
Okay.
If you're the type to be on your phone all the time, you're a perfect target. That makes sense. A mugger will tail you if they see you constantly transfixed on your phone screen or calling someone. It indicates a lack of situational awareness. You need to be on the lookout.
Oh.
Unexpected places to get mugged. Of course, there are obvious places that are like in the dark and an alley. Yeah. I was on a very dark street. But an unobvious place right on your own driveway.
Whoa.
No, not your driveway, because people have to walk. They'd have to have really good thighs
They
to
have
rob
to have,
you
they have to
on
have
your...
a hiking stick.
Oh my God,
and,
driveways
trekking shoes.
is terrifying. Some experienced muggers choose to lie in wait right outside your house, as it is one of the least expected places. The modus of these seasoned thieves is to wait for you to drive up and get out of your car, then strike. Oftentimes, they'll have at least one accomplice to back them up, and may even have their getaway car idling nearby, or worse, take your car to get away. Look around before you drive up, and always be wary before opening your car door, even if you're only steps away from your front door. This can't be helping with all of your fears.
I mean, they're like hiding in wait to just grab you. Are they going to take you with them too?
Well, I get to that.
Oh, okay.
Subway platform. Never stand too close on the tracks or stand anywhere on the platform. Stay close to crowds of other commuters. Remain aware of your surroundings and don't bury yourself in your phone. Muggers don't even have to use a weapon if they get to you, because the threat of pushing you onto the tracks is enough motivation to fork over your cash.
Yeah.
I would say 100%.
Take it all.
I'm also just scared of falling.
Me too.
Whenever I've been in a subway system, I don't stand anywhere near the edge. I'm sure I'm 5 feet back.
I'm always nervous. I've only ridden the subway here a handful of times, but whenever I've gone, it's usually with the kids, and I'm always like, don't get close to that red line. Don't get close. And even I'm always like, what if I can't stop myself from going over the red line?
I know. I'm harf. I'm with you on that.
Run over the red line because I can't.
Yes.
I accidentally run over it.
What if it's just too tantalizing to forgo the red line?
What if I don't want to, but my body just does it anyway?
Right.
And I can't stop myself.
Your body, your choice. Don't
Thank you.
go to the red line.
Not in Texas, but
No. When you're most likely to get mugged, there are a couple of days of the month when you're most likely to get mugged. No, not your period.
that's what I was thinking.
I knew you were going to think that.
Because I was
not that they
like,
smell blood and go after
the pheromones, the mugging pheromones,
the mugging pheromones. Paydays. You know, when muggers are around each other too long, they start mugging on the same day. It's a scientific fact.
Their cycles align.
Because of paydays.
How do they know when my payday is?
I thought the same thing, but I guess apparently people often get paid on Fridays.
Oh.
Which is true. I'm thinking about
that makes sense.
Thursday or Friday for most of the jobs I've had.
So the muggers are all like getting together, playing poker, and they're like, you know what's coming?
Yeah.
Payday. We got to get our mugging shoes cleaned.
Yes. Well, they're fancy. From the last time they mugged
because they
someone.
mugged them from someone.
Yeah.
And they got to be able to run fast in them because once they've mugged, they would need to be able to run away.
Now, how it usually happens, asking someone the time of day or asking directions. These are two things. So they say that if someone asks you for directions or the time of day.
Okay.
First of all, they said if they ask you the time of day, it's probably a mugging because most people have a phone or something else that would tell them the time at this point. So it's pretty unusual.
Also, just that phrasing is an alert.
Well, I don't know.
Excuse me, do you know the time of day? Who says that, right?
At what point in the sky is the sun at this point? So what they say is you can answer, just keep walking. Keep walking as you answer.
What if you do this? Here's something I did once outside of a bar. And I think my friend thought I was maybe overreacting. It was dark. I know, right? I'm so measured. So it was a bar in kind of a dark side street. And a little like the only business there. And we were walking out and we were going to go to our separate cars at the end of the night. And there were a couple guys hanging out front. And I was sort of leaving her and I said, we were like, bye, bye. And this guy said to me, hey, and kind of started walking towards me. And I said, no.
Good.
No. With my hands like that.
Good.
And she kind of like giggled a little bit because I think she thought I was maybe being overreacting. But and he might have just wanted to talk to me or be flirty, but
Either
I was
way.
like, I don't care. I would rather just seem insane.
Was it just an instinct to do that? I think that's great.
Because I was like, I don't want you to talk to me. It's
good.
You shouldn't, if you don't have the wherewithal to know as a man in front of a dark bar that you shouldn't start walking up to a woman that you don't know as she's trying to walk to her car and approach her. Like, you should have the common sense to know.
And he stopped.
Yes.
I think that's terrific. By the way, all the stuff I just read you was from a website called The Art of Manliness.
I thought it was going to be
lifetime.life.manly. So this is from a different website. But I actually came upon this phrase a couple of times. They want you to be the gray man. Do you know what that means?
No.
Do you know what that's code for?
No.
It's a phrase you hear a lot in the tactical world. It means dressing and acting in a way that doesn't bring attention to yourself. To avoid being mugged, be the gray man. Don't wear anything that would make you attractive target to would-be muggers, i.e. fancy shoes. If you're going to be in an unsafe place of town, keep the expensive jewelry and watches at home. Dress discreetly and in a way that doesn't suggest you've got a lot of money. So that's sort of common
Leave all my
sense.
Gucci and Chanel at home.
Yes.
I feel like I'm the gray man right now.
I am 100% the gray man.
I think I'm
the gray man like 24/7.
Is it also a state of mind?
Yes.
Do you think? I'm always the gray man.
You're always the gray man. Now, speaking of colors,
yes.
Stay in condition yellow.
Wait, condition yellow?
Condition yellow means you know what's going on. You know your surroundings.
Oh, I absolutely always do.
You're probably always in.
I'm always. Let me tell you
banana.
this.
You're always in yellow.
I'm always looking for an escape route.
Oh wow! Okay.
Everywhere I go, and I'm always sussing out all the people.
Okay,
in a situation.
Good. Really?
I mean, if but too much. Like now, like if I'm in a Starbucks, I think this has started happening though since, becoming a certain age. Like I've gotten to the point now, if any man looks at me, I'm like, is he going to start shooting people?
Wow.
Because I don't understand like why he's looking at me. Like, I don't think because I don't get noticed by men anymore. So if one does, I'm like,
bad news.
He's going to do something in here.
See, if a man looks at me, I just assume there's someone behind me. Because I, too, don't get looked at by men anymore. So I probably would welcome it. And then if he pulled out the gun, I'd be like, okay, so, not everyone is perfect.
So,
but
or if somebody has a backpack, I'm like, get out.
Yeah.
Everyone, get out of this Starbucks.
Wow.
This guy with a backpack just made eye contact with me and he's about to open fire.
He's just a would-be screenwriter.
And then I'm like, oh, I'm just in Glendale and I actually I look okay.
Oh my God. Chris, how do you even get through the day?
Medication.
This is what you should do if you do get mugged.
Okay.
So let's see how many of these things I did. First, what do you think the first step is?
I know this. Remain calm.
Yes, you got it. I can't wait until we get to an episode where the first step is panic.
Yes. I hope that's one of them.
Stay calm. I did do that. I did stay calm.
You did.
Clarity of thought has never been more important. Calmness begets calmness. If you panic, you're in turn going to panic a person with a gun. You will have the benefit of rationality, logic, rhetoric, and persuasion. Although, I don't know that you really want to persuade anyone. I think you just hand over the money.
Just give them the thing. Yeah.
Establish eye contact with the assailant. Okay. It sounds simplistic, but looking at their eyes forces them to acknowledge, if only for themselves, your humanity.
Like with the bear.
Yes.
They're a bear.
They're a bear.
Do you do a proper introduction?
Hello, mugger. I am your victim today.
My pronouns are she, her. What are your pronouns? How do you identify?
If you panic, you're in turn going, oh, I already read that. Sorry. You don't want this person uncontrollable, but you do want them uncomfortable. So that's the idea of like staring them in the eyes.
Okay.
Letting them know, okay, you're in charge, but I'm not, I don't know.
You can't just shoot me in the face. I'm a person.
Right.
With pronouns.
But here's some good news. If the person was determined to murder you, you would already be dead. And
good point.
Every second that passes is usually one passing in your favor.
Okay.
Now, a lot of armchair... Okay, so what they're saying is a lot of people will say, throw the gun throw the goods, the jewelry or purse, whatever, in one direction and hightail it in the other.
Okay.
They say, do not do that.
Okay.
That will just cause confusion. You're making a scene. Once again, you woman, you're making a scene.
You don't want to panic them.
You don't want to panic them. Exactly.
Okay.
And also to telegraph your actions before you do them.
I'm going to hand this to you now.
That's exactly right.
Slowly.
Yep.
It is my Marx Brothers wine carafe.
Yes.
That I got at a garage sale.
Yes. It was like one of those wooden crates. Now I'm picturing it. It was a wooden crate, like maybe like a foot long and like 8 inches wide and maybe like 5 or 6 inches deep that I think had like an actual closure at the top.
Okay.
Like a
gift box. In a sort, you're gonna have to
wood.
Okay, you're gonna have to find this.
I'm never gonna find it
on
again.
eBay, and I want to see what it looks
with it.
like. And I also don't understand.
So what was I gonna do with it?
How are you a woman who enjoys the Marx Brothers?
What? Not the Three Stooges.
Oh, okay, yes,
Oh
you're
my
right.
God,
I got them
Chris,
mixed up.
We're gonna have to.
I got them mixed up.
Although I have to admit, in my old age, I do kind of get the Three Stooges now. I have seen enough of them that are actually funny, but the problem is the comedy only lasts a few minutes and then it becomes very redundant. But there are some really, really funny moments. But the Marx Brothers are, I'm not crazy. I wouldn't buy a wine box with the Three Stooges on it.
I got them mixed up. Everyone, don't send
Everyone
me
comment.
hate tweets.
Okay.
I'm going to get so many hate tweets from this.
Okay. During the whole process, this is also common sense. Study the person, try to memorize odd things about them, not things like height, because that's a million people are going to fit that height.
Yes.
But
what
more
if they have like a
specific.
claw hand?
I mean, that would have been helpful in my situation. I don't remember. I think I kind of blanked out a little bit.
Yeah.
And I'm not really good with faces and stuff.
Do you get a lot of people mixed up?
I don't think I get people mixed up, but I've noted to myself after I've had a conversation with someone like, I don't know what that person looked like. Like I did in the moment.
Yes.
But so I think I just kind of like, I think I just sort of, went dead and I didn't really notice anything. And also, maybe there wasn't anything particularly unusual about him, like a tattoo or a mole or.
Well, here's the thing.
Yeah.
On the art of manliness, there's probably another article for the muggers that's like, make yourself gray.
Yes.
Right? They're gonna do whatever they can to like make sure their baby arm isn't showing.
Don't wear Fu Manchu.
Yes.
And don't show your baby arm.
Yes. Have as many bland features as possible. You want to be forgettable.
Right.
Take out your, nose ring and
Yeah. Yeah, those are all good things. I'm going to subscribe to the Art of Manliness now.
I can't wait to see the
Only
changes.
I had that when in my 20s. Okay. So, I'm almost done.
Take your time. I love this. Learning so much.
Okay, here's the obvious. Give the mugger what he wants. If you can't run, just give the mugger what he wants. Your life is much more than your wallet or watch, of course. Don't fight back.
Okay.
Every self-defense expert this person has talked to recommends this. Do not fight back. Most muggers just want money. If you give them what they want, they'll leave you alone. The majority of armed robberies end without injury, which is makes sense and is also very comforting. Right, because why are you going to fight over? Everything can be replaced. It's just, not the crate, but everything else. Now, fight back.
I'm going to find that crate for you.
Thank you. Fight back only as a last resort. If your attacker is getting extremely close to you and throwing punches or jabbing a knife towards you, maybe they're on drugs or something.
Yeah, they might.
Know.
Why do they want to punch me?
Yeah.
I'm very nice.
Right.
I've offered them everything.
So if that happens, obviously you need to defend yourself. Control whatever weapon your attacker is using. Just do that.
Okay, yeah. I can control a gun. I have bullet resisting hands.
You do? Yeah. Oh, why didn't you say so?
I don't want to brag.
I don't. You're so humble. Does your brother practice on you?
Yeah. That's why he has so many guns. He's been trying.
All these years.
Yeah, all these years.
He hasn't landed one bullet in your hand.
Not yet.
Does it bounce off of your hands?
Yep.
Like Wonder Woman in her bracelets?
Yep.
Oh my God, you're so lucky.
I'm basically Gal Gadot. Gadot?
I think she says Gadot.
Okay.
It's one of those things where it seems like it should be Godot.
Yeah.
But I think, right? Doesn't she say Godot?
I have no idea.
Oh, I think she says Godot. I don't know. By the way, I'm starting to think that maybe she's not such a great actress. Maybe she's just gorgeous.
she does confuse the mind.
She
because
does,
her
right?
prettiness is so blinding.
It's so blinding, and it's also not like, I mean, she doesn't, how can I say this? She doesn't look like a dumb, pretty person. She looks like a
really smart,
classy, a gorgeous person. So I think we give her a lot of credit, but maybe she is just, I don't know.
It's hard to tell because I really liked the first Wonder Woman a lot.
I know, and the second one was so goddamn awful.
I know. She had great chemistry with Chris Pine in the first one.
Yeah.
But the acting, I can't tell either because it's hard to tell.
It's really,
again, the people who are that really great looking
it's confusing.
They can really confuse you.
Yeah, I think she threw some mist in our eyes, and I don't know what I'm. You know what I'm thinking of is in Batman. I'm thinking of what's the Vine lady? I know her name isn't Poison Ivy or Vine Lady.
Vine Lady.
Poison Ivy. Yeah.
Who's that actress?
That is a blondie. What's her face? Uma Thurman. Yeah. I mean, that's an old one. Yeah.
Are you thinking you don't like her as an actress, or are you thinking?
No. I was thinking of the act of
the throwing the mist.
Yeah. I mean, she had lipstick on, and she kissed them, and they went crazy. But I think she also did something with plant pheromones or some.
And that's what Gal Gadot is doing to all of us.
That's what I'm saying. Well,
you know what? I think let her have a role with a little more bite.
Yeah.
Where I don't know if she really speaks like that or if that was her accent she was doing in that movie.
I think, well, she's Israeli, so I think that's her accent. Which is it also warps the mind because you don't know what's happening.
Yes.
You can't tell if she's a good actress or not because.
So let's see her in something else.
Exactly.
And
I'm willing to give her another shot.
I'll watch her in more things.
I feel like I saw her in something that wasn't Wonder Woman, but now
the Imagine video that she made.
Oh my God. Holy cow, Chris!
Did that push it in a direction for you?
That pushed it in the. For those of you who don't know what we're talking about, when the pandemic first started, a bunch of celebrities got together and sang "Imagine" and made a video. Like they each sang a line from their home.
Who else was in that? Do you remember?
Sarah Silverman, but apparently she was quite embarrassed. And
was it Gal? Was she the brainchild of this?
I believe
or did she just
may
take
have
the
been
heat for it.
I believe she may have been behind it. Yeah, and it was so cringy. As the kids
so
say.
bad. It was so bad. It was like, here's our gift. We can't be in movies right now, but we did this thing.
It was so condescending, and also the most cliched song, and also like
it was so bad and basic and cheesy.
Yeah.
And insulting.
Oh, it was so
all these.
It was so
it was like
awful.
Also all these people were just dying. I mean, people are still dying.
But
nurses and doctors were just going
but Wonder
through
Woman
hell.
Singing you a song.
And she's like, "Hey guys, we did this."
If you haven't seen it, for some reason, go look it up because
it's embarrassing.
But you kind of have to watch it.
Thinking about it makes me feel embarrassed.
I know. I'm uncomfortable.
But again, I'll give her another chance. I'll watch her in another movie.
So anyway, once you grab his weapons, the assailant, I'm assuming is a man, gouge eyes and stomp feet and knee nuts.
Okay.
Which I'm going to get around my license plate. I'm going to get that phrase. I am always fascinated by the people, not who get personalized license plates, but who get the license plate.
Yes. Where do you get that?
I don't know. I don't know. Disneyland?
What is that called, by the way?
The rim, the border, on a picture frame, the frame.
The frame of your license plate. Yeah, and they have all these things of like, I'd rather be playing Frisbee golf.
Right.
And I'm like, okay, cool. I'm glad to know this about you. Where did you
get that? Guess what I also don't know where to get? Those decals of the family in descending order of age. With their dogs and they're dressed as Star Wars or whatever, or just, I have no idea where people get those. I'm assuming online, but those predate online.
Yes, people
so where did those people get them?
Mail order? Mail order catalogs? I always find it interesting that people are willing to share that much about themselves on their car.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, you could be a target for a shooter.
Well, that's a good... Of course,
do you know like somebody who's driving on the freeway and who's like, I hate Frisbee golf?
Well, and also like people put a lot of political stuff on their car.
Yes,
is
I
that
would
wise?
never do that. Okay.
So basically just beat the shit out of them is what they're saying.
Wait, did you say it again? It's eyeballs.
Gouge eyes, stomp feet, knee nuts.
Just stomp your feet. You stomp on their feet with your feet.
I think that's what it means.
Right. So should you always wear stilettos? Do I need to get a pair of Louboutins?
No, because that's fancy footwear.
Oh, right.
And you're going to walk funny and slow.
Yeah, could you see me walking in a pair of those kind of shoes? I would be ridiculous.
By the way, I think Gouge Eyes Stomp Feet Knee Nuts was the Three Stooges calling card. Speaking of that.
You're right, though. That would be great on a license frame.
Yeah, I like it.
I like it, too.
It's like that thing from Varsity. It's not called Varsity Blues. What's the Friday Night Lights?
I didn't watch Friday Night Lights.
Oh, you're missing out.
Because you know who I really like?
Matthew Fox.
No, the other guy.
Not Matthew Fox. I'm sorry, I didn't mean Matthew Fox. What's his face?
Yeah, that guy.
Yeah.
What's his name?
Oh, for God's sake. Matthew.
No, it's not Matthew. It's
the lead.
Yeah.
He's fantastic. You have to watch it. I mean,
watch
honestly,
it. Yeah.
it's really good. Like,
I don't have to like football?
No, I don't have any interest in football. It's one of those shows.
Why can't we think of his name?
Garen will look it up
I've watched him since I was a wee little one.
Then why didn't you watch Friday Night Lights? Because of the football thing?
I don't know. I missed it.
We missed it too.
And I like Connie Britton too.
And then we went back and watched it.
Well, I'm going to go back and watch it.
Yeah. No, Connie Britton's fantastic.
I feel like his name has a K in it. But it's not Kirk. No, that's not. Kyle. Chandler.
Kyle Chandler. Sounds like a made up name. Why did I think?
Kyle Chandler. Remember when he was really young, he was in a show called Homefront. Did you watch that? It was about like World War II.
Yes,
and then,
I forgot about
remember that
show. Yeah.
And then he was also in a show where he was a time traveler and he would time travel based on like the newspaper of the day or something.
Oh, they've tried to make that show a few times.
I love time travel shows.
I do too. I remember that show.
And he was the lead. That was, I mean, this is I'm going into the 90s now. Like when
Homefront I think was even earlier than that.
Yeah, I liked Homefront.
I may have auditioned for Homefront when I was a child.
Oh my God. Can we do a show where we just talk about shows that you auditioned for and were on?
Sure, it'll be very short.
I doubt it.
Okay. Consider a dummy wallet. If you live and work in an area with a high number of muggings, you might consider carrying a dummy wallet.
Oh my gosh.
It's a wallet that won't get a vaccination. It's a cheap wallet that you fill with a few dollar bills and those promotional cards that credit card companies send you, like the things you gave your kids to pretend that they had
the fake credit cards.
Yeah. Keep it in your other back pocket and give it to him
for the mugger.
This is like if you're a man, I guess, but
I feel like this would get you shot. I feel like you'd give it to them and they'd be like so mad.
Well, I don't know that they necessarily look at it I don't think they look at it when they're there. I think they take it and go. Yeah. Yeah. Now,
this is harder for women because what are you going to do? Carry two purses?
I know. I mean,
or do we just have to all be?
Well, I guess. Yeah, because they want the whole purse. You don't reach in and give them a wallet. You're going to be spooked during your mugging, but do your best to maintain situational awareness. Make noise. Again, muggers want to do their work with as little attention as possible drawn to them. Being extra loud while you interact can scare them off. So that's sort of that might be a little controversial.
Yeah, because I'm afraid if I'm like, hey, so you want my money? They're just going to go poof and shoot me. I'd rather just be like, cool, here you go.
I mean, their theory is no, they'll just run away. But
I don't know. What do you think? What would you do? Well, you know what you did. You just handed it to them.
Well, the thing is, there was no one around.
Yeah.
So making noise would not have helped me. I mean, there might have been someone somewhere around, but I didn't see anybody. And it was really dumb of me to be where I was. And
it wasn't.
I think I honestly was like, yeah, that seems about right. I should have been mugged by now. You know what I mean? That was sort of my reaction to it. It was like, you park here every night. This is bananas. You're a single woman by yourself.
I feel like there's a lot of blaming yourself right now.
No. I'm not blaming myself. I'm saying it makes sense that I would have gotten mugged because it was all bad ideas, and there really wasn't a better idea. I mean,
you did what you had to do.
I mean, you didn't have another option. No other place to park.
There should have been a better option. Yeah. I have a question though.
Yeah.
So let's change it. You're at the Grove.
Okay.
And you've got your purse. It's daylight and it's crowded. Mario Lopez is taping Extra right next 100%. To you.
Yeah.
And now you've got somebody coming up. Extra. Do you think you would still be quiet, or do you think you would take the risk of being like, oh, so I'm just being, mugged and it's cool and hey.
I think now that I know this, I don't know what I would have done before, but now it makes total sense that you would make noise. Again, I don't think the likelihood of someone mugging you in broad daylight in a crowd.
It seems unlikely.
On Extra.
But you never know.
If your attacker is demanding that you get into a car, do whatever you have to not get in a car.
Okay.
Your attacker is likely taking you to a second crime scene.
No, fuck that.
John Mulaney warned us about the second location. You don't want to go to a second crime scene. There are places that are completely hidden from public view where criminals will kill, rape, or beat you.
No thanks. Pass on all that.
Crime studies show that a victim's chances of survival go down once they get to a second crime scene. So if you're told to get into a vehicle, fight like your life depends on it, because it probably does. Okay, so that was what to do if you're being robbed at gunpoint. And when we come back from this break, we're going to talk about, Chris?
We're going to talk to Julie Brister about what to do when your identity is robbed.
Yep.
When we come back.
I'm fascinated.
Don't go anywhere.
Don't.
Welcome back to How to Survive. I'm Christine. I'm here with my co-host, Danielle Koenig. Hi, Danielle.
Hi again.
We've got a guest here.
I know, it's very exciting.
I'm so excited. We are going to talk now about when you have your identity robbed. And we are here with Julie Brister. She is an actress. She's on the show Goliath, coming back on September 24th. Hi, Julie.
Hi.
You're the star of Goliath, right?
No.
Why not? You should be the lead.
No.
Can't you take Billy Bob's role?
Oh, that would be a totally different a very watchable show.
I would love it if you were the lead. No offense to Billy Bob,
Well,
of
thank
course,
you.
but
Someday,
yeah.
there's a spinoff, but
give-
I haven't heard yet.
Yes.
give this woman a spinoff. You're also a very talented improviser,
Thank you.
and we just enjoy the heck out of you. So you have a good story about being targeted.
Yes.
I'm sorry it happened to you, but I'm happy it did, because then we get to have you on the show.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Yeah, it's a very. I haven't talked about it much, so this is going to be exciting.
Exclusive.
We'll see what happens.
Okay.
You
Hope
heard
I
it
don't
here
cry.
first. It's okay. You know, this is a safe space.
Okay, it feels very safe.
Well, that's because of all the cotton on the walls. Oh, sorry. I'm sorry. I'm getting a call from Scam Likely. I apologize.
You know, I also get a lot of calls from Scam
I
Likely.
hate spam risk.
Whenever the phone rings, it's always my mother or Scam Likely, and either way, it doesn't get picked up. Okay, so let's go. What's your story? What happened?
Okay, in 2014, I got a DM from a stranger saying that somebody is using your photo and the name of a character that I played for The Onion, and they've created their own a Twitter account where they're tweeting really racist shit.
Whoa. Okay, so just for the audience, The Onion is a satirical newspaper that's online and very popular.
Right.
So when you say a character, are you one of the people whose photo is shown with, like, when they do a poll?
Yes.
And then they quote someone?
Right. I was a pundit. So when Onion News with Onion News Network. So
Okay.
When they we started doing videos online, and then there was a show on
IFC?
IFC, thank you. Years ago, and I played the same character on both. And it's a character named Laura Lee Hickok.
Okay.
It's a great name.
It is it's a great Onion name.
I love the name. And Laura Lee Hickok was like a folksy, she spoke in aphorisms. She was like a Molly Ivins type, but she was not racist.
Just put that out there.
So this person was like, just so you know, your likeness and your character's name is being used to do all this shit.
So it's not even your identity that was robbed. It was your fake identity that was robbed. Your
meta.
Character. It is meta.
Right. It's
your character's identity was robbed.
And this person was a stranger that just let you know this was happening.
Right.
Okay.
So they were just giving me a heads up. I go over and it's just like a nightmare
on Twitter.
It's on Twitter. Like this, she has. I'm calling her a she, but
sure.
Like it's. Who knows? She's got like 45 followers, and she's just adding like Beyonce and Rihanna and Shonda Rhimes, and she's just saying the most.
You mean is she adding at them?
Yes,
so she's tweeting at them with racist stuff.
Oh God, she's tweeting it to them. I thought you meant she was just adding them as friends.
With my face.
Okay.
With your face. Oh my God.
Yes. And
can you repeat any of the things she said?
Well,
or is it?
There's a lot that I can't repeat.
Okay.
The gist was go back to Africa. Was
oh my God.
A recurring theme.
Okay.
It was also really, really anti. The classic.
Go back to the classics.
That chestnut.
Yeah.
It was also really anti-Muslim. Oh, and this is like right at the beginning of Ferguson.
Oh my God.
So the timing was really good for this.
And she was amped up like about that, like tremendously. And she would be like welfare queen, like everything that you can imagine.
She was pulling back for the old hits.
Right, the old hits from the 80s.
Yeah,
she was finding her inner Jessie Helms.
Oh wow.
But really, really offensive.
So I don't want to jump too far ahead. So if this jumps too far ahead, just stop me. But what I'm imagining, so someone who is a fan of satire because they know The Onion. The Onion is, it's I would say it's left leaning. I mean, it's very satiric. They're a fan enough to know the character and to take you from that, but then they're also racist. Or do they think they're doing some sort of satire? Is that
it was so
that's really hard to consider?
It's a good question because it was so confusing because they were also very anti-Trump.
Whoa!
Wow, they just ran the gamut.
There were lots of contradictions in this person, but I realized like they were just there to troll. Now there's another component that like was also also made me feel very, very terrible, but not like the racist stuff was truly like face hot. Like, really
it's so horrifying
to see your face.
Yes. And sometimes people would respond and they would be like, you 9-chin having glasses too big for your head. Would call out the appearance of the photograph, which was me.
Yeah.
And then she also would take advantage of that and would be like, she loved to make like pork rinds comments, like I'm having my pork rind salad, me and my friends. Like it was all like all of her fat.
There's a lot of
comments
elements to this.
We're salting it with the tears of Democrats.
right, and then completely like trolling me for my size.
This person's all over the map.
Yeah, I'm not even sure it's one person.
Not a good troller. Honestly,
feels like it was a group of people.
Yeah,
that had a lot of different opinions.
Maybe it's like
who
Q.
knows? Like that is in any case.
Yeah.
I contacted Twitter and I first claimed impersonation, and that didn't work. And
what do you mean? Twitter's usually so fast to respond when women are experiencing abuse.
Right? Aren't they good listeners?
They're great.
So wait, can we take it back one step?
Yeah.
I've never had to report something to Twitter. So is that one category, impersonation?
Yes.
Okay.
There's like several categories, like fraud, impersonation, like offensive, like there are
content.
Different. Yeah. I forgot all of them. But there's a few different choices.
Why did impersonation not stick? Because it wasn't your actual name?
I think because it wasn't my who knows why?
Okay.
Because sometimes this happened over and over and over again. Like this is the first time it happened. I ended up having to report this person like 8 times over the next 2 years.
Oh, next 2 years. That's a lot.
Oh my God. And would you ever respond to the tweets and say, this is my picture, I am not this person, you're using my name? Like,
I DM'd them and I said, who are you? And why are you using my picture, my photograph? And they're like, it's just a photo I found on the internet and I can do that and that's totally legal. And then Twitter was like, you got to block them. And I blocked them. And then their account was so offensive, it was eventually, they were eventually kicked off. And then they would create a new one with a new name. So Laura Lee Hickok went out of the way. And my picture was then attached to somebody named Rhonda Suley. And then there are several.
So they would just
keep
using your picture, your image, but changing the name.
My picture my picture, it wasn't like they got it off the Onion website.
Right.
They got it off of my Instagram.
Wow. Because you knew the picture and you knew that was on your Instagram.
Right.
So they know who you are. That this claim that they just Googled for an image of a woman, that can't be what it was.
No,
specifically,
they knew who, like, it really felt personal.
Yeah, it feels very targeted.
Is so scary. I'm trying to picture, like, I wake up and my face is saying horrible things on Twitter and there's nothing you can do.
It feels so stressful, too. I mean, because it's like, you have to live with this idea that people are who know you or may not know you. They're just coming across you online, think these things.
Right.
And you're an actress.
Yeah, and you're a public person.
Right.
And eventually I was, like, multiple times people would contact me, strangers would contact me and be like, hey, this is happening. So that happened more than once. And then one day some guy added me and then had copied one of these tweets.
Yeah.
And it was like, now we know who you are.
Oh,
and I was like, it's not me.
Yeah.
They totally like stole my picture. It has nothing to do with me. They never used my name. And then eventually, like after going through back and forth with Twitter for forever, a former student of mine was like, let me see if there's something I could do. And then she contacted Twitter and she was like, let's get you verified.
Oh.
Okay.
And that, since I was verified, like nothing has happened. I'm like, how is that the magic
doesn't make
thing?
any
I didn't even know what
sense, right.
that meant.
Yeah.
Like, how is that?
Where you get the check mark, right?
Right.
The little blue check mark.
That stopped it?
So that when you were verified, you were then able to contact Twitter again and say, this person can't do this. And then or did that just stop the person?
That stopped. Who knows? Somebody may be using my photo now, and I'm just oblivious to it. So, like you know,
I hope this podcast doesn't kick them off again.
No, that would be bad news.
Well, if it does,
they're not listening.
I'll come back.
With another story.
Yes.
So I have a couple of questions.
Okay.
Because now I'm curious. Can you just take someone's picture? I mean, a lot of people have like a joke, you know, like a picture of, you know, Al Pacino as their avatar. No one thinks it's Al Pacino, and it doesn't say it's Al Pacino.
Right.
But so is that a thing? Like, is that legal or within the Twitter rules that you can just take a picture off the internet of see, you're in a funny place because you're not an unknown and you're not a huge mega celebrity.
Right.
So is that okay? You don't know.
I don't know. Like, I think at the time that was correct. You could at that time you could take a photo, a random photo that you have found
and ascribe it
use
to
that.
Huh.
And but when they started using, like, they were obviously like mining my Instagram for photos, and it was like a photo of me at a birthday party with friends.
Wow.
Like, then it really, and they would take those photos and be like, we're getting ready for our pork rinds feast.
Oh my God.
And
this is like so personal.
It really, really felt personal.
Yes.
The way that they described themselves was kind of the same from account to account to account. It was like they were based in Houston. They were a vegan and a mom.
Wait, who ate pork rinds?
Who ate pork?
A vegan who ate pork
hated
rinds?
Trump and
Full of contradictions,
black people.
Like we said, yeah.
Don't you wish you could talk to that person?
I wish that I could talk to them.
What is
fantasy was just to find out who they were. Like, and I had a weird little fantasy that was like, I know this person, but I know them from years ago or something.
Yeah,
I find
like
the mind of the troll,
thing.
though, so fascinating because did you guys ever listen to This American Life where Lindy West talks to her troll?
So good.
No.
It's so interesting.
I'm sorry, who is Lindy West? I don't know who that is.
Okay, there's a lot you need to learn.
Okay.
So Lindy West is a very funny writer. She's written a couple books. She had a show based on herself. It's called Shrill, and A.D. Bryant stars in it.
Oh, okay. I watched the first episode of Shrill.
She's really funny, and she was trolled. Was it on Twitter?
Yeah.
Pretty hard, like about her dad's death.
Well, okay.
So I don't want to get it wrong, and I don't want to give away too much, but to tell you that you should definitely listen. I think you can either read about it.
Yeah, she's
written about it, and it's really well written.
But she confronted the troller.
She finds her troll, and they have a conversation.
Oh, I've got to.
And it's so interesting what he ends up revealing about himself and how he can't deal with her being so confident, basically, about herself.
He had an issue with her being a very confident woman of size, because it was like she's a big lady.
Yeah.
It was all about. It was
but why does that?
He was so offended by that.
He hated it, and he, I think, kind of revealed that he hated himself.
You think?
And this has to do, well, yeah, of course. That's so much of it with I think with trolling too. With a lot of it is misogyny, towards women.
Yeah,
but this idea of how people. I think a lot of these people are just the very normal people you see walking around in life who you would never think harbor this inner hate, and then they go online.
Because they wouldn't do it in real life, right?
And it's so hateful.
I listened to that. All of that happened after my experience, but I remember like listening to that episode of This American Life, and I found that to be very cathartic.
Oh, good. So that's how you survived.
Yes, is, definitely that in denial and just like, well, it didn't. Well, I've moved on.
So I was going to ask, like, is this a daily thing you wake up and think about it, or it wasn't like that?
Not at all. And actually, like, I've kind of sat down to try to write about it a few times, or to kind of sketch something out to do for a storytelling show. And I always it's something that I haven't finished, so it's kind of great to talk about it.
Yeah,
today, I feel.
No, but I meant at the time. Was it bothering you so much that you'd like wake up and go like, oh fuck, what did they say today? That's what I meant. Like, it's
for weeks. Until they would be taken down. There was one period, like early on, when they started harassing me, when they would have their account yanked, and then they would immediately create another one. So it was just like they were popping up.
Oh God,
one after another right away. And I would tweet about it. Like, I would be like, hey, this is happening and this isn't me, but I wouldn't at her, at the person. And I didn't get a lot of response. Like I don't have that many followers. So like I wasn't getting like a huge response. It was like, maybe this isn't that big of a deal. Big of a deal. But the invective is so offensive that like that was to me the most troubling part.
Yeah, I mean,
so upsetting
when it's that hateful. I think it would feel so upsetting even if you had 4 followers, because it's still your name out there.
And you have to see it,
and you have to see it, and you have to know it, and you have to sort of know that exists.
I will say Azalea Banks responded to her, and it was like, it was really mean what she said, but it was also hilarious. And Azalea Banks basically said that, like, how are you able to talk without an apple in your mouth?
Oh my God.
Roasting over a fire.
Oh my God.
And I was like, haha, oh, that's me.
Oh my God.
Wow.
That is hilarious. Well, thank you so much.
Oh, you're
for
welcome.
telling that. I mean, that's an amazing story.
It's a great story, and I'm so sorry you had to experience it.
Oh, thank you. I have survived.
Do you have any advice to anyone who might be experiencing any kind of online harassment on ways they should handle it? Or
if it's on Twitter, like, definitely stay calm. Contact, be dogged in your pursuit of these people with Twitter, and let as many people know as you can. Like, let your friends know so they can kind of spread the word. That
I wonder if they're better now.
I think that Trump kind of changed things.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Like, I think they now probably have like, that department is probably a more
robust.
Yes, I would think so.
Yeah.
That they're more diligent in dealing with these people.
Oh my God. Well, is there anything you want to plug?
New season of Goliath, our final season starts September 24th.
Well, we're excited to see you.
And you can follow me on Twitter.
Okay, but is it the real you?
At Brister Soldier.
All right, I'll be looking for the best pork rinds. That's what I'll be looking for when I follow you. No, thank you so much.
Thanks for coming,
being on. It was so great.
Thank you so much.
You're a delightful guest. And we'll see you all next time on How to Survive. Hey, everybody. We'd love to hear from you on the social media at Pod How to Survive on Twitter and Instagram. And also, you can send us an email, podcasthowtosurvive@gmail.com. We'd love to hear your survival stories or just say hello. All right. Talk to you later.